Dan Trachtenberg has proven with Prey and Predator Killer of Killers that he is the man to take the franchise into the future, and he doubles down with Predator Badlands in the best possible way. Epic, exhilarating, an exciting new journey in Yautja lore. A young Yautja named Dek is looked down upon by his father and chieftain of his clan, so much so that he sees him as the weak link, and such a weakness must be culled. Father orders Dek's older brother Quay to do the business, but he saves Dek instead and falls fatally by his father's sword. Dek escapes from Yautja Prime to Jenna, the most dangerous planet in the galaxy, in search of the creature known as the Kalisk, an unbeatable foe who has slayed many a Yautja hunter before. Dek has vowed to bring the Kalisk trophy back to his father, and then perhaps even seek revenge. But Dek won't be able to survive this hostile planet on his own, and soon after his crash landing he meets Weyland-Yutani synthetic Thea, who somehow persuades him to drag her along on his journey to find and kill the Kalisk. And the next 80 minutes or so is a high-octane, sci-fi action body adventure movie with just the right balance of humour, heart, and pulsating fight sequences. It was a joy to watch. Make no mistake about it, Trachtenberg goes big here. He's not messing about. It's a risk because half of the internet hated the design of Dek and were finding anything to complain about from the various trailers that were released. I'm sure those haters will still be loud and proud, but I'd imagine that a large amount of them might also eat some of their words too. I'll admit I wasn't fully sold on Dek either after the first trailer, but once you accept this Predator is not the same type of Predator as the one in the original films, then it becomes so much more entertaining to watch. Trachtenberg is building something here. He's expanding the lore of the creature and laying the groundwork for the future of the franchise. Elle Fanning actually plays two roles in the film, Thea and Tessa, two almost identical synthetics who have been programmed with human feelings and who are more or less sisters, and she is fantastic in both roles. Thea, who we meet first, and who is the one who joins Dek on his journey, is very happy-go-lucky and whimsical in her behaviour, whereas when we meet Tessa, we realise that she is very different, very company-orientated and no nonsense. Fanning does a great job at differentiating both characters so well. The big standout from the film is of course the action scenes, of which there are many. It kicks off a little bit like a modern-day Star Wars film, a deserted beach with sprawling mountains in the background. It looks ancient, skeletons of dead animals buried in the sand, a speeder bike with a hooded figure, and then an electric close combat fight scene to set up the character of Dek and his brother. Space travel, and then another planet, wild this time, with insanely dangerous creatures, and even more worrying, extremely dangerous vegetation. There's giant spiky plants that explode when you get close to them. There's blades of glass that are actually blades, like literally blades, and then there's trees that come alive and try to consume you. It's pretty much non-stop. There's even an adorable sidekick with bulbous eyes and a cute demeanour who copies everything Dek does. And then we get deeper into the story once Tessa arrives on the scene and the connective tissue to the Weyland-Yutani Corporation begins to rear its ugly head. But this film doesn't just feel like a bridge to yet another Alien vs Predator film, which is 100% happening by the way. It's so much more than that. There's actually a lot of emotional stuff in the film too, and it highlights some great themes about loyalty and being part of a family. The writing is fairly basic storytelling and a classic structure. Visually it's incredible on a big screen, and although some of the CGI of the Yautja's facial expressions are a bit distracting, particularly the eye movements, it doesn't hurt the film at all. And the visuals are all backed up by an incredible heart-pounding score from the returning Sarah Schachner and genre favourite and Fright Award nominee Benjamin Wallfisch. It's epic in scale from a visual and audio perspective, and really has that old school Steven Spielberg adventurous vibe to it. There's even a fair amount of lens flare in there too to give it that nostalgic look. Predator Badlands is like a live action Saturday morning cartoon. You know the ones you used to sit in front of the television watching with a huge grin on your face? This will certainly appeal to a mass audience rather than fans of just the original, but I'm very excited to see what's next for the Yautja and whatever other creatures it comes into contact next.